Introduction to the operation of high-voltage switch characteristic tester. We have used a vacuum circuit breaker as the test object for explanation. Wiring operation demonstration. How to set parameters. Closing and opening test operation. And low-voltage test operation. Wiring demonstration. Fracture line. Default a 1 main port. Internal trigger. The internal output voltage triggers the circuit breaker to operate. The voltage is adjustable from 20 to 270 volts. External trigger. Collect external power supply for closing or opening. Speed sensor. Interfaces connecting linear sensors, rotary sensors, and universal sensors. Energy storage line. It can be used as a lockout power supply. Switch control locking power supply. It is turned off by default. When wiring the internal trigger control circuit, the dedicated adapter cable used. If a clip is used for connection, be careful to prevent short-circuiting. When installing the rotation sensor, the pointer should be within the yellow valid area. When the moving contact of the circuit breaker is connected to the fracture line, the yellow, green, and red wires correspond to connecting phases A, B, and C, respectively. 3-phase short circuit with black wire of static contact. Complete wiring diagram of switch tester. Parameter settings. Enter parameter settings. Fracture setting. Generally, the main fracture is a 1. Switch type. Select the type of test switch. The demonstration test involves a vacuum switch. Sensor setup. The demonstration experiment is for a rotation sensor. The length is set when using a linear sensor. Trigger settings. There are 3 triggering methods. The demonstration test is for internal output voltage. Select internal trigger. Schedule setting. The demonstration test circuit breaker is 14.5 millimeters. Voltage setting. Set the standard voltage for the circuit breaker. Acquisition time, 1 second. Energy storage time. The energy storage time of a typical circuit breaker is around 8 seconds. Definition of speed. Normal 10 kV vacuum circuit breaker. Generally, it is calculated from 6 mm before the joint to 6 mm after the joint. Trigger time, 100 milliseconds. After setting the parameters, click the Save button. Return to the main interface for testing. Closing and opening test. Click on Testing. Energy storage first. Waiting for energy storage to complete. After energy storage is completed, click on Energy storage again to turn it off. Click to close the switch. The curve on the left represents the fracture, stroke, and current waveform diagram. The right side shows the specific test data for circuit breaker closing. Click to open the switch. Obtain specific data for the opening test. Click to print. Both graphics and data can be printed out. Low voltage test. Click for low jump test. The initial voltage is generally 30% of the circuit breaker voltage. Accumulated voltage can be set arbitrarily between 1 to 10 volts. Return to the testing interface. Click on Energy storage. After energy storage is completed, return to the testing interface. Click for automatic low jump. The instrument performs automatic closing voltage testing. After the test, the lowest closing voltage test result was obtained. Thank you for watching this equipment operation tutorial.